Thank you for joining me for class today. What you'll need are 2 blocks and, of course, a yoga mat. So we'll take a comfortable seat. Gently close the eyes. We start to center ourselves for our practice. Bringing the palms to the knees. Just taking an easy breath through the nose. Bringing attention to the sensation of the air flowing in and out of the nostrils. Maybe the temperature difference with each inhale and exhale. Noticing the chest rising and falling with each exhale. Beginning to let go of the day, any plans you might have for later, or anything that might be going on outside of this moment. And just making an intention to become present for the next hour. With each exhale, feeling any expectations just kind of slide away. So bring attention to the sensations of our body right now, touching the mat, sitting on the blocks, our hands on our thighs. Any air circulating in the room. Spine is erect. If you think about a stack of quarters, each vertebrae on top of the other, supporting the head. Crown of the head slightly lifting towards the ceiling. Vertical lift. With each inhale, maybe the spine gets just a little bit longer. Maybe we get just a little bit taller. Feel free to set an intention for your practice. It's not a requirement, just an idea. And that can be just being present for this moment. Or it could be something bigger that you carry throughout your day or throughout your week. Maybe dedicating this practice to something, yourself included. Blink open the eyes if they are closed. We're going to inhale and look up to the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder and then the chin down towards the chest. And whenever we come to the chest, we'll be at the end of our exhale. Then we'll inhale, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder and looking up to the sky. So it's basically inhale and exhale. Or you can do exhale and inhale up, whatever your preference is. So the middle of the breath will be ear to shoulder, and then the breath, chin to chest, middle breath, ear to shoulder. Just taking big circles with the chin around the room. Feel free to hang out in any areas where there's extra tension. And next time your head is up towards the ceilings, change the direction of your rotation. If you're like me, you have some creaking and cracking going on, but it feels good. Work in service of the body today. If anything doesn't serve you, don't do it. If your body is telling you not to do something, don't do it. So coming back to neutral spine, we'll bring our right hand out, bringing the right hand to the mat, dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. Think about pressing the left sit bone into the floor. So think about opening up our chest towards the ceiling. If you want, you can reach the left arm up and over towards the right. Being mindful of the shoulders and making sure they're not coming up towards the ears. Breathing into that left rib cage. Bringing the left arm to the right knee and slowly come up and move into a twist to the right. Teaching inhale, the spine's getting longer. And maybe we twist a little bit more with each exhale. The right arm we can use for stability. Coming back to center, bringing the left hand to the floor, dropping the left ear to the left shoulder. Think about pressing the right sit bone into the floor, reaching the right arm up over to the left. Thinking about opening the chest up towards the ceiling. And slowly bringing the right hand to the left knee to come up into a twist on the left side. Our inhales, our forehead, the crown of our head reaches up towards the ceiling, spine gets longer. And exhale, deepen into the twist. Sit bones are firmly attached to the floor. This twist is coming from the waist. So coming back to center, going to come off my blocks and stay on yours if you like. I'm going to set my block to the front of the mat. And just going to bend forward, bringing my elbows to the floor. And this might be where your blocks would come in handy if you find it easier to rest on the blocks. Releasing the head, just taking a nice long stretch in the spine. Feeling that elongation of the spine with each inhale. Feeling the ribs expand. Starting to bring attention to the breath. We rely on the breath during our practice for an anchor. Breath is always an anchor, whether we're on the mat or off the mat, keeping us anchored to the present moment. Slowly walk the hands back up. We'll bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Then exhale the shoulders down towards the spine, lower ribs. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders back. Inhale up. Exhale back. Then 2 more times. And change the direction. And shoulders up and down the front of the body, up and back. Exhale 3 more times, up, down. 1 more time. And slowly make our way to our backs. Just going to hug the knees in towards the chest. Releasing the head to the floor, rocking side to side. Little back massage here. We're going to extend the left leg long. So we keep the right leg pulled in towards the chest. Then move into a half happy baby. So this might be easier to bring your left foot to the floor. You can grab the inside of your right foot or the outside of the right foot. Yogi preference. Think about pulling the knee towards either the floor or the armpit. Feeling a nice stretch in the right glute. We're going to bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. We're going to slowly drop that configuration over to the left, bringing the sole of the right foot to the floor, and looking over the right shoulder. Think about pressing the right leg away from the body. Should be a good stretch in the right quadricep. Then bringing that configuration back up, we're just going to thread the needle, grabbing the left thigh, behind the left thigh, or you can grab in front of the left shin. Continuing to push that right leg away from the body, flexing the feet. Release that to the floor. Stretch your right leg long, pulling the left leg into the body. Moving into a half happy baby, bring the sole of the right foot on the floor if you like. It'll take some of the pressure off the lower back. And then grab either the inside or outside of the left foot, pulling the knee towards the floor or the armpit. You can release the ankle, left ankle to the right knee. Drop that configuration over to the right, bringing the sole of the left foot to the floor, pressing the left knee away from the body, looking over the left shoulder. Feel this more in my glute medius on this side. And coming back to center, pulling the right, raising the right leg, grabbing either behind the right thigh or in front of the right shin, pressing the left knee away from the body, flexing the feet. Bring the feet to the floor and grab a block, just one block, extending the legs long. Hands can be facing down or the palms can be facing down to the floor. We're going to do a little bit of ab work. So bringing attention to the body on the floor, we do have a slight arch in the spine. Our glutes are connected to the floor. Our upper back is connected to the floor. The heels and our calves are connected to the floor. Take into consideration what it would take to press the lower back into the floor. With an inhale and exhale, press the lower back into the floor. Of course, that's going to take some ab engagement. Inhale, take a natural spine. Exhale, press the lower back into the floor. And if you're like me, you're probably pressing your heels into the floor as well to help engage the glutes and the abs. Exhale everything out. Release, inhale. Do that 3 more times. Exhale, really think about pressing the lower back into the floor and engaging the abs. Release. Exhale. Release. One last time. Exhale. Bringing our feet back to the floor. Our lower back's going to come to the floor more naturally. We're going to extend our arms up. Shoulder blades are firmly pressed into the floor. We're going to extend our legs to the ceiling. We're going to simply grab the block with our feet. Release down, keeping the lower back engaged on the floor. We do not want the lower back to come off the floor. So inhale, exhale, inhale, Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. And release. Set the block aside. And reaching behind our thighs, we're going to rock back and forth on the mat. We might find ourselves in a boat. Not literally in a boat, but maybe Vipassana. We'll fold the ankles over into a tabletop. So tabletop, our hands are underneath our shoulders. Spine is flat. Our knees are underneath our hips. With the inhale, we can, when you release the belly towards the floor, pulling the chest between the biceps, looking towards the front of the mat. With exhale, we're going to engage the abs, gaze towards the knees, pressing the floor away. Inhale, drop belly towards the floor, press the tailbone towards the back of the mat, chest between the biceps. You might think about a twisting motion, kind of if you're trying to twist the mat. It's an external rotation in the arms. That's allowing the chest to be pulled through the biceps. Exhale, press the floor away. Gaze towards the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Just take some natural movement and explore around, rolling the spine, hanging out in an area if it feels extra nice to you. And we'll start to roll over the ankles, the wrists, moving in one direction and changing to the other direction. And we're going to slowly move our hands back closer to our knees. We're going to do what I like to call wrist push-ups. So think about pressing your fingers into the floor. We're just going to raise the palm off the floor and lower. And raise and lower. And this is going to be easier if you move your hands back closer to your knees. Raise, lower, raise, lower. And think about actually twist your arms around. And this is optional, not required. Where your fingers are pointing towards your knees, and we'll take some more circles here. This might be easier if your fingers are facing towards the outside of the mat. Everything is optional. So take circles around the wrists, and then change direction. We'll come back, bringing our toes to the floor. We'll slowly peel the hands off the mat and shake that out. So coming back to a tabletop,
going to extend the right leg behind us. We think about engaging that right glute. Extend the left arm forward. And inhale, raise each higher. And then exhale, bring the knee to elbow. Inhale, raise. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, raise. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, raise. Raise higher. Bend that right leg and see if you can reach it with your left hand. Again, this is totally optional. Think about pushing the right foot into the left hand, allowing the chest to open towards the front of the mat. Without flinging, release the right leg. Bring the right foot between the hands. So you move into a low lunge. You can use your blocks here. Different settings on the block. You want to think about relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, opening the chest towards the front of the mat. Really engaging the left glute. Feeling that stretch in front of the left thigh. And slowly release the hips back towards the left foot. So we come into a half split. Raise the right foot and take some circles with the right foot. Change directions. Then coming back into a low lunge, we're going to bring our hands to the floor and walk the right foot out to the outside of our mat. As we come into lizard, we really want to think about pushing the right knee into the right shoulder. So we're not really wanting that to play out just yet. We keep it flexed in towards the center line of the body. So it might be easier to stay on your hands. Take a couple of breaths here. And if you want, you can drop that right knee out to the right side of the mat and come to your elbows. You can also come to a block, or you can stay on your hands. Coming back to hands, bring that right leg back into the shoulder, come onto the ball of the left foot, and bring the right foot to meet the left. We'll find ourselves in downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the practice. Knees are bent. Our shoulder blades are tracking down our back towards the lower ribs. I'm pressing the index finger and thumb into the floor. Neck is relaxed. Bend in the elbows. Back of the thighs are long. The tailbone is pressing towards the ceiling. Shining the sit bones towards the ceiling. Bringing our knees to the floor, bring them towards the outside of the mat. Toes together, and press into a child's pose. We'll bring ourselves back up in the tabletop, extending that left leg long, really engaging that left glute. Extend the right arm long. And inhale, raise it higher. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. Exhale, elbow, knee. One last time. Inhale, raise up. See if you can grab that left foot with the right hand. You can come down to all fours if that's not accessible, if you prefer not to engage in this pose. But if you are in it, think about pressing your left foot into your right hand, opening your chest towards the front of the mat. Just going to release the left leg, bring the right hand to the floor, bring the left legs between the hands, moving into low lunge. Again, our blocks are there for us to offer support and bring the floor closer. You can also come to the knee if you want. Going as deep as we can in practice is optional. We don't always have to go to our deepest length or stretch or ability in practice. Practice is always ours to do with what we want. Honoring the body. So moving back, bringing the blocks with us, moving into that half split, raising the left foot off the floor, in those circles with the left foot. Pressing the direction. And then coming back into a low lunge, bringing the left foot out to the left side of the mat. So move into lizard. Think about pressing that left knee into the left shoulder. Stay here for a few breaths. Then release the left leg out, coming onto the blade of the foot. And then you can bring the elbows to the floor if you want. Coming back to the hands, bringing the left knee back into the shoulder, coming onto the ball of the right foot, bringing the left foot to meet the right, downward facing dog. And slowly walk the hands back to the feet. So we find ourselves in the forward fold. Our feet should be hip width distance apart. So you should be able to fit 2 fists between your feet. Grabbing opposite elbows, allowing the neck and spine to hang long. Neck is relaxed. Ribs are attached to the thighs. Knees are bent. Bring our hands to our shins. We'll press up into a half forward fold. Extending the forehead to the front of the mat. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. We'll come all the way up. Bringing the hands together overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. We're going to take a walk to the front of our mat. We're going to move through some various sun salutations. Release the hands to the side. Palms are facing the front of the mat. Moving into Tadasana or mountain pose. Abs are engaged. Chest is open. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, dive into a forward fold. Inhale, raise up halfway. Exhale, extend the right leg back, all the way back, coming to the right knee for low lunge. Extend the arms overhead. Bringing our hands to the mat. Step the left foot to meet the right, downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the floor. Bring the chest to the floor. Leave the seat up. The seat will stay pointed up. Ashtanga pranam. We'll press into a cobra. And untuck the toes, downward facing dog. Extend the right leg to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the right leg between the hands. For right foot. Release the left leg to the floor, come up to low lunge. Extend arms to the ceiling. Bring our hands to the floor. Bring our left foot to meet our right. Forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step the left leg all the way back. Inhale, raise up into a low lunge. Steadying the breath. Inhale. Hands to the floor. Bring the right leg to meet the left. Raising or lowering the chest to the floor. Tailbone to the sky. Ashtanga pranam. And then press up into cobra. Child's pose. Tuck the feet, press to downward facing dog. Extend the left leg to the ceiling. Exhale, place the left foot between the hands. Drop to the right knee. Extend arms overhead for low lunge. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release arms to the side for mountain pose. Starting to warm the body up here. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step back to plank. Think about engaging the abs. Tucking the tailbone. In one piece, we're going to bend the elbows, bringing the elbows towards the ribs, lowering in one piece to the floor. Bringing our elbows underneath our shoulders, we move into Sphinx. Think about pressing the pelvis into the floor, engaging the abs. When moving through sun salutations, we have a couple of options. You can either do cobra or upward facing dog. Cobra will look like this with your hands underneath your chest, just pressing up, shoulders away from the ears, pressing the feet into the floor. Upward facing dog is a little bit more intense. Pressing up, slight bend in the elbows, pulling the chest towards the front of the mat. Thighs and pelvis are off the floor. Abs are engaged. And then you press to downward facing dog, rolling over the feet. A few more breaths here. This is more of a Hatha practice than a Vinyasa practice, so we'll take our time a little bit and really explore our body in the asana. Inhale. Exhale, step between the hands. Forward fold. Grabbing opposite elbows. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring hands together overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit up in a chair. You can bring your hands to your waist if you want. Think about engaging the abdominal muscles. You can tuck the seat. Think about bringing the knees back over the ankles. That will allow the toes to come off the floor. Even though the abs are engaged, we might be in a little bit of a cow back with the chest opened up. Extend the arms overhead. A little bit lower. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, raise up halfway. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Inhale higher. Exhale, place the right foot between the hands. Just come into a high lunge. Hands will stay on the floor. the balls of the left foot. Nice stretch in the left calf. And drop the sole of the left foot to the floor. We'll come up, bringing the hands to the waist, dipping into that right knee. The shoulders are parallel with the front of the mat. The left hip is out at 9 o'clock, right hip at 3 o'clock. Think about engaging that left glute. Reach arms overhead for warrior one. Go and open up into warrior two. So twisting open, repositioning the left foot as if you're on a beam. And the inside of the right foot would intersect the back foot. Gazing towards the right toes. You should be able to see the right toes. Gazing over the right fingers. Abs are engaged. Shoulders down away from the ears. Think about squeezing the thigh bones together as if you're going to squeeze the mat and towards the center. Reverse the right hand, reverse warrior. Keeping that bend in the right knee. Bring the hands to the floor. Bring the right foot to meet the left. Chaturanga, lowering halfway. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Extend the left leg to the ceiling. And then engaging that left glute. Raise it higher. Exhale, place the left foot between the hands. Coming into a high lunge, hands will stay on the floor. Come into the ball of the right foot. Really feeling that stretch in the right calf. Lowering the right foot to the floor. Bringing our hands to our hips. Bending into that left knee. Right glute is engaged. Shoulders and hips are squared to the front of the mat. Pressing the blade of the right foot into the floor. Extend the arms overhead for warrior one. You might gaze up towards the ceiling without crunching the back of the neck. Should be energy in the arms, not just there for show. And opening up into warrior two. Bring the left hand to the front of the mat. Dipping into that left knee. Repositioning the right foot so it's intersected by the inner part of the left foot. Gazing over the left hand, you should be able to see the toes on the left foot. Shoulder blades relaxed, away from the ears. And reverse. Keeping that bend in the left knee. And gaze up to the left hand, towards the right foot. Bring the hands to the mat. Bring the left hand or left foot to meet the right. Chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Drop the knees to the floor. Bring toes together. Push back to a child's pose. Bring awareness to the breath. And exhale a couple of times through the mouth with inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to press up. We're going to move back into a seat. Bring the soles of the feet together. Grabbing the toes, pressing the knees towards the floor. You might find it easier with the feet out a little bit further or in close. Just keep an open chest. Extend the right leg out, bringing the sole of the left foot into the right leg. And bring a block to the outside of your right knee. Just bring an elbow to that right knee. In your left hand, you can extend it overhead. You can keep it at your left leg, whatever you prefer. About opening the chest up to the ceiling, whatever you're doing. Keeping both sit bones attached to the floor. And coming back up to center. Extend the left leg long. Bring the sole of the right foot inside the left leg. Bring the block to the outside of the left leg. Elbow to the block. Keeping the sit bones attached to the floor. Chest open towards the ceiling. Coming back up to center, extending, or actually bringing both legs in for an easy seat. Just bending over the legs like we did at the beginning of class, and releasing the neck. Coming back up to center. Extend the right leg, pull the left leg in. We'll either grab the right knee with your hand, tuck it into your elbow, whatever is accessible, just twist to the left. Flexing the feet on both legs. and towards the shin. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. And then coming back to center, extending the left leg, pulling the right leg in, right foot on the floor, grabbing the right knee with the left hand or tucking it into the elbow, whatever is accessible, and twisting to the right. Flexing both feet. Releasing shoulders away from the ears. Releasing that and making our way into Shavasana. If there's anything else you need to do for your practice, please do that. Moving into Shavasana, just laying on the back. Bringing your legs wide. My feet hang off the mat. And allowing the feet to open towards the outside. Palms are open to the ceiling. You can reposition your shoulder blades. I like to push my head into the floor and reposition my shoulder blades so it allows my chest to open a little bit more. Just allow your body to relax. Allowing all the work that we've done to sink in. Doing a body scan, and if there's any place where you're holding tension, just send a breath there, and with that exhale, allow it to relax. Relaxing the forehead, the eyeballs, the jaw, the shoulders, the arms and the muscles in the arms and fingers, allowing them to be heavy and just falling to the mat. Our abdominal muscles, our lower back, hips and pelvis, leg muscles, the bones of the leg just getting really heavy. Everything's very heavy and very relaxed. Imagine inhaling light through your forehead into your chest. And with each exhale, just allowing that light to flow into your body. Very clean white light. Allowing that energy to settle. Start to bring attention to your fingers and toes. Extending your arms overhead for a full body stretch from your fingertips to the tips of your toes. Pulling your knees into the chest. The big exhale. Roll over to one side. Use your hands as a pillow for your head. Slowly press yourself up to a seat. Eyes closed, palms to your knees, or your thighs. So we recall our intention that we said at the beginning of the practice, or inspiration, or whatever your dedication was, even if it's to yourself. Release your arms to the side. Inhale. Bring your palms to touch. And exhale, bringing your hands down to heart center into Anjaneyasana, prayer. Slightly bowing the head and honoring yourself for your practice today. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.